Hello, this is James. I saw a fun deck on the ladder today, and I want to share it with you all. It's cool because you don't usually see double summon and dual standby used in any way competitively, because double summon it's kind of slow. Like if you draw it late, you don't have two monsters in your hand generally, so it's not useful, and it kind of kills your card economy. And then dual standby is tough to use because there's no strategy that's worth giving your opponent an extra card, or at least almost no strategy. And this deck somewhat remedies it with Oyster, Meister, and Golden Flying Fish. So Golden Flying Fish is from Abyss Encounters, and its effect is you can tribute one other fish-type monster, then target one card on the field, destroy that target. So we have Golden Flying Fish, and that works with another Golden Flying Fish, or Oyster Meister, Needle Sunfish, or Hammer Shark. But Oyster Meister is especially good because if this card is sent from the field to the graveyard, except when destroyed by battle, special summon one Oyster token. So, if you have Golden Flying Fish and Oyster Meister, you can get two destructions, which the first one negates the card advantage given to your opponent, and the second one makes up for double summon, if that makes any sense. Because destruction, like anything you do, generally costs you a card. So you've used up this card and you've given your opponent an extra card, but then destroying Oyster Meister twice, destroying two oysters, takes that away, and you can get a lot of good control effects with this card. So when you have your opening hand, you want to open with 5 cards, and you generally want to see you do want to see your double summon, and you do want to see your Oyster Meister and your Golden Flying Fish. You also have your Hammer Sharks, which you can. So say you have the God hand is this, and the Oyster, and the double summon, and the Hammer Shark, and then maybe a protection card, or a card you can make plays with. And then you summon your Hammer Shark, you check for Floodgate, then you activate Hammer Shark's effect and special summon Oyster Meister, you check for Floodgate again, and then you play double summon and Golden Flying Fish, and then this and the 2 oysters gives you 3 destructions, which is great. And then other cards are just whatever support. Well, of course, you gotta have your enemy controllers, because you have a lot of relatively weak monsters that you can use to make plays. And Wall of Disruption, Mirror Wall, just whatever protection you may happen to have. And these 2 double summons, people generally don't have double summon, and I wouldn't recommend digging for it for this deck. But if you do have it and you haven't been able to use it, and you've been wanting to use it because you just think it's so cool, as I do, then this is a pretty good option. Roll the clips. So for this first battle, we will begin, as we often do, with the ideal case for this deck, and it's against Cyber Angels. And after the KC Cup, I think many of us will be pleased with the result. So this guy, he doesn't know what I'm running. He doesn't care, because he's going to get his 2 big badasses out right now. Cyber Petite into Dakini. And he's feeling good. He's feeling confident. He doesn't have to worry about enemy controller messing up his Dakini. Nothing like that. He just needs to wait for me to play whatever pathetic card, and then he can win on turn 3. Such a Kaiba. Little does he know, we have drawn our God hand. So we double summon, get our 2 fish, check the grave for protection, and this is not going to go well for him. Blow up both of his boss monsters, set the bluff, and go for the damage. And there's nothing that he can do because None of the search monsters, both Senju and Sonic Bird, are 1400. They're smaller than the flying fish. GG, Merrick. Here's a gladiators battle, and that's why I love Gyoko, because you don't have to worry about Kuribo like you do with anti-magic arrows. So we get to we pin that card. We pin the floodgate. I'm pretty sure it's the floodgate. I never actually saw it, but I do think it's the floodgate. We get the double summon into the 2 fish. And this guy, he's reading flying fish. He doesn't know what's going on. And against gladiators, the best matchup for this, I think, is gladiators. And the safest option is to just blow up the monster, because that's the engine of the whole deck. You can go for the back row like I do here. And it's an enemy controller. That's a bad get, but it could have been a wall of disruption. So he puts me into defense position and considers disconnecting from the duel. But plays another face down and another Laquari. And that's like not great. But thankfully we have our Kuribo, and we protect our flying fish. Most important card in the deck. And we get some more protection. But we don't get any fish fuel for the destruction engine. So we're just gonna set our 2 cards and wait it out. Much like how gladiators do. Because I know better than to attack the Laquari. Even wounded, the beast is still dangerous. And he's not afraid of back row because he has his own strong back row, but he wasn't thinking about my mirror wall. So that's the second Laquari. Pay for the wall because it protects us from all of his monsters. And we go for the damage. And there's a definite delay, but we get it in. Now is it a mirror wall? Is it a wall of disruption? Is it an enemy controller? With the power of the flying fish, we'll find out. So usually paying for the wall, at least in my experience, against opponents, is a losing move. But here it's a good stall against the 3rd Laquari. This guy got lucky. Fortunately, we were luckier. We get our 2nd Oyster Meister. And here I'm thinking, if he doesn't have a Kuribo and he doesn't have an enemy controller, I can pop one of his back row. Yeah, see, I'm thinking about that. I can pop one of his back row, and tribute take the Laquari. I can tribute the token and take the Laquari, but I make the safe play. And I just pop his Laquari. But anyway, I could have tribute taken the Laquari for the token and then risked an enemy controller or a Kuribo, but that was too many risks. So I didn't go for it, but he scoops. Nice. And before we get all carried away and go digging in whatever box it is for double summon, this deck is not going to get you to KOG because of one simple reason, and that is Hazy's. This deck is completely powerless against hazy monsters. The enemy controllers don't work against it, the flying fish effect doesn't work against it, there's no get up and go, there's just the flying fish effect. So, Hazy's hard check this deck. But I did get a Citadel Whale and the Sea Strike. The Sea Strike card, so we're definitely going to make a more powerful Abyss Encounters deck after this one. And this one was good. This is against a Red Eye Zombies. This guy's Legend rank 3, and he's like fresh off of his whatever 80th place in the KC Cup. He's like, huh? What is this? What are these weird fish monsters? Why are you using these? So we get a Wall of D. That's a good get. We get tossed to another Oyster. And we get an enemy controller. Okay, well that's going to happen. But he was forced to use it. So that's worth about half a card. And that's 2 destroys. That's his card advantage is eliminated. Now he didn't draw a monster, which is good for us. We get our second Oyster Meister out, and that just allows us to blow up more stuff. I go for the middle card because I'm thinking, because usually it's the middle, but everybody thinks that now. So now maybe go off to the sides, and so I go for the that's his third card. So he was trying to fake me out with the second one being either he has a Kuribo or that's an enemy controller. Or another wall of D. Yeah, actually I think that's what it is. Yeah. It was a wall of D. Here so I would definitely substitute Needle Sunfish for Beautiful Princess. And also I would get yeah, see there's the enemy controller. I would get the what is it? The fish depth charge. Fish depth charge. The level 38 Mako reward. I would put that in. I would substitute Beautiful Princess for Needle Sunfish, and then I would maybe take out maybe one of the enemy controllers for the fish depth charge, because that speeds up the deck a whole bunch. That gives you more destruction, and Beautiful Princess lets you search out a golden flying fish, and that can really stall out your deck. So he gets his Gozook, we pay for the wall, keep it on low attack, but then that lets him get out his Red Eye Zombies, which he plays in defense mode. He's not scared of the fish, but he is afraid of enemy controller, which he should be because we have one. He plays another face down, and he gets his Red Eye Zombie ready to attack. Now here, I misplay a little bit. I should attack the face down, because the only thing I'm worried about now is Kuribo. I should attack the face down with the fish, then with the fish that attacked, I tribute it for the Red Eye Zombie. Then I have two attacks that kill him, and that totally plays around Kuribo, but because he has a zombie, it works out. Thank you for watching.